Right now at 7, a place of Bay Area nostalgia is about to be history. We're talking about Northern California's last horse racing track shutting down.
Worst case scenario, there's no horse racing in Northern California next year.
What experts say needs to happen to save the sport. Also, an unusual bike lane battle playing out on a Bay Area bridge. Why environmentalists say the addition is actually making pollution worse.
We don't want to eliminate the bikers. We just want to make it fair.
One East Bay City could be in for a series of steep water hikes as they could have a trickle-down effect.
With the price increasing, there's the reality that price for our coffee will have to increase.
This is CBS News Bay Area with Juliette Goodrich.
No more dollar days, no more Sunday brunches, no more betting on horses. Golden Gate Fields shutting down its racetrack at the end of this year, putting the future of the sport in Northern California in question. So the track on the Albany-Berkeley border has been in operation for more than 80 years, but now the track's owner is ready to leave all of it behind and double down on its racetrack in Santa Anita. The plan is to move many of the horses from the Bay Area down south with a goal of expanding racing there. We talked with one woman who is sad to see the racetrack close and shared some fond memories with us.
This is in 1997 when I went to the racetrack with my brother-in-law, my sister's husband, because he played to the horses. And I had $2, and I played $2 on a horse called Money. And the long shot, he was 50-1.
So you got some,
and I won $172.
But horse racing at Golden Gate Fields and other venues has been under scrutiny by animal rights activists. 8 horses have died at the local track this year, despite increased safety protocols required by the state. So what does this move mean for workers? The company says it's aware of the profound effects on employees, jockeys, trainers, and stable workers, and that it is committed to honoring labor obligations. As for the land that the racetrack sits on, well, the mayor of Berkeley issued this statement saying the news, quote, presents exciting opportunities for the future of the 140-acre site, and adds it's too early to speculate on what will replace the track, but the priority right now needs to be on workers who are impacted and making sure the horses are given proper care. So what about the future of the sport altogether? There is horse racing at county fairs, but Golden Gate Fields is Northern California's last racetrack where seasonal racing is still happening. So earlier today, I talked with a racing expert who says owners, trainers, and racing associations have to come together to save the sport from disappearing from Northern California.
Worst case scenario, there's no horse racing in Northern California next year. That's bottom line worst case scenario. No place for all the horses to stay. I mean, Golden Gate Field shuts down December 19th. Those people got to go somewhere. If we're not in place to be able to take them in, 2 things are going to happen. One, some will go to Southern California. Some will just quit the game in general. And we saw that happen years ago here when Pleasanton ceased to become a year-round training facility. A lot of really nice trainers and people just got out of the industry. We need to look at this as an opportunity. We need to get together on it, and we need to get things done as soon as possible.
Do you have a timeline or a deadline?
Well, sooner the better, right? Because I think we're going to have something solid in place within the next couple of months at the latest.
Dennis Miller tells me those involved in racing are hoping the California Authority of Racing Fairs, better known as CARF, will become the central organization to save racing in Northern California. We'll stay on top of this. All right, now to Santa Clara County, where 2 sheriff's deputies have died tragically in the past week. The department says Arturo Romero was on his way home from work Saturday when he was hit head-on by a suspected drunk driver on Highway 87. He spent 24 years with the sheriff's office. Richard Reynolds was leaving for work on Tuesday when he suffered a fatal medical emergency. He spent 27 years with the sheriff's office. Right now, the search is on for the gunman who reportedly shot and wounded an Amazon driver during an attempted robbery in San Francisco. The San Francisco Standard reports it happened near Mariposa Street and Pennsylvania Avenue in the Potrero Hill neighborhood on Saturday. The victim was taken to the hospital and is expected to survive. Caltrans says it should be done installing a new network of freeway cameras by this fall and will start using them in phases. They're designed to spot incidents like the car-to-car gun battle that left a little boy caught in the crossfire on 580 in Oakland Friday. And at last check, the 8-year-old was in grave condition at Children's Hospital. Bike lanes are typically seen as environmentally friendly, but as Devin Feely reports, some Bay Area leaders say one bike lane in particular is actually making pollution worse.
I've been here most of my life, and I have a love for this city of Richmond.
But what Joe Fisher frankly hates is the commute across the Richmond-San Rafael Bridge. He says he's tired of seeing cars idling endlessly, inching along the bridge, with the bike lane empty, or if not empty, at least underutilized.
We don't want to eliminate the bikers. That's not what we're trying to do. It's only 17 in the morning during that time. We just want to make it fair.
Joe is part of a coalition of community leaders urging Caltrans to remove the bike lane in the westbound direction from Richmond to Marin during the morning commute. The coalition argues that not only does the bike lane create more traffic, it creates more pollution from all of the cars backed up on the bridge.
We have to listen in particular to the voices that are most impacted. And those are the Richmond residents who are either breathing the air or those sitting in soul-crushing traffic.
The bike lane was first installed on the Richmond Bridge in 2019. Its popularity, however, has never shifted into high gear. There's about 140 bicyclists on an average weekday, about 24 pedestrians. Compare that to the thousands of drivers who use the bridge.
We can't dictate projects to Caltrans, but we can certainly strongly suggest consider these common sense solutions. That's all we're asking.
Assemblyman Damon Connolly introduced a bill that would have removed the bike lane during the morning commute. It stalled in the Appropriations Committee, but the coalition of community leaders like Joe Fisher says they're not giving up.
This commute is very difficult. It's very difficult to get to from Richmond to Marin.
Now, Caltrans says the 4-year bike lane pilot program ends in November, and they'll reassess after that. But they add gridlock was a problem well before that lane was closed to traffic. Well, people in Pleasanton could be in for some sticker shock big time on their future water bills. The City Council is set tomorrow to look at a plan to raise rates by 30% starting in November. And that's just the beginning. There would be another 20% hike starting in 2025 and a final 12% increase by 2026. So for the average single-family home, that translates to an increase of about $33 every other month for the first year. But businesses could feel a much bigger squeeze, like one downtown coffee shop that's worried it may have to raise prices.
It's definitely saddening. I understand the reality that that could happen, but it's definitely difficult to process because we are a coffee shop and we literally run on water.
So the city says the increases are needed to address a variety of water supply and quality concerns. They're definitely not sitting back, that is, and relaxing, but California firefighters are getting a bit of a break so far this season, but will it last? Also, from pizzas to canned foods, how our extreme weather could mean big differences for your favorite dishes.
Temperatures today weren't quite as extreme as they were over the weekend. A little bit of fog is trying to redevelop as we look towards the Golden Gate. Temperatures were certainly still hot inland, but not as bad as they were yesterday and Saturday, and we're in for a couple of cooler days. The full 7-day forecast coming up.
And she disappeared 8 months ago. Major developments in the case of a Bay Area woman who was kidnapped in Mexico.